rock and roll. We are all up and loaded. Bandwidths are with us, which is good to start a Fantabulous Friday. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live in New England with Two
Sisters. Good morning, everybody. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. Still a little flush in the cheeks because I was beating the crap out of my kickboxing bag.
Well, that's awesome. What a way to start your Fantabulous Friday with getting that heart energy up. I started it with saying a very, very funny word because Jed, our grandson, is lost another tooth. So he's got a space, in the front where two teeth are missing. So he was having issues with his tongue and saying certain words. But I got him practicing saying a very fun word because, fun words add fun to Fantabulous Friday. So who remembers this? Supercalifragilisti Cexpiliidocious. That's what we were working on, and which is a long word. And funny thing you had said to him moments ago, that must have been a tongue twister. And he goes, "You're right, my tongue was twisted."
That's my Jetty Jed. And a question to everybody out there in podcast land. Do you know what movie that came from?
Very good. That will have to be, I would probably say not a lot of people are going to get that one, unless you're a movie buff. And there are a lot of movie buffs out there, but it's, you know what, I would be curious. I think I know the year that it came out, but I'm not 100% sure. That would be the other piece.
I think that I know as well. And I'm not going to say it. So
we gotta let our viewers and audience
yes,
figure it out. And I don't mean DuckGo or Googling it either, which someone's gonna do. But
well, of course. I mean, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to lie.
So on this Fantabulous Friday, we do obviously mindset, healthness, wellness, all of that put together rolls into one to get us to this point of the week. Now, this, I would have to say, for this particular week for me was a very hard week, and it was not hard from a fitness perspective, although there was a little from my.
Oh, we're having some audio issues and you froze up.
It had a lot of stake in the outcome. Is mind draining, to say the least. Now, most of you that follow what a lot of times, we talk about different things that all encompasses our health and our wellness and our mind. We talk a lot about our gut. We talk about physical fitness, recipes, what's trending, but we often, too many times, people forget the mindset that has to go into all of that, which is encompassing also of our health and wellness. So they all encompass each other. They all complement and they correlate with each other to produce a healthier mind, body, and soul. So when you are drained, and let me tell you, I don't think I've worked this hard in the last 4 days in a long time, but the stakes were high. The stakes are very high when you are working on goals that have a outcome that is going to impact generations to a certain degree, and really changing policies of what is going on. And Massachusetts is a liberal state. I think most people don't even question that piece to it, but there are pockets of conservative areas, a combination of both. There's a few very red areas, some purple areas. And I find that a lot of them are more, I would say, west of Boston. So, I obviously been doing a lot of research. I've been sharing that on my personal pages as well as, we've been chatting about it here. I really just came to the conclusion that the state is just really trying to focus on this area, infiltrated to a certain degree. And, I don't have proof of that, but it just seems to be the reason. In addition to, there are some restraints from a local school committee or school board that they obviously have to fall under the guise of the state as well, especially where education comes in. But I recently, and I actually posted it and then I deleted it. I posted an Instagram video that really depicted the areas, not in Massachusetts as of yet, but areas where the result of critical race theory, and from a child's perspective, it was alarming. It was heartbreaking. The language, excuse me, the language that was used, and it wasn't explicit language. So I want to be clear on that. It's just using normal words today describing certain races. It was modern. I'm going to call it coin phrase it, because coin phrase is the new coin phrase of coin phrases. It's the modern version of racism, because obviously when, racism and the civil rights movement and all that was coming out, you didn't have this level. You didn't have this, obviously, this contemporary version, because obviously that was in the 60s. Excuse me, my allergies are really bothering me. But anywho, it was very telling. And to see little children mimicking or having dialect that is definitely infiltrated from a learning perspective, like they would not normally say these things unless they were indoctrinated into it, unless they were taught it. And I think people, indoctrination and teaching, because we know children's minds, we often talk about children's minds are a sponge. They absorb so much. That's where, a lot of repetitiveness comes in when you're teaching them their ABCs, pronunciation, words, vocabulary, all of that, the art of language. So to see the art of language be infiltrated into a child's mind, and what I witnessed was pretty sad, very telling. Now, that's not the way that it is here, but it's going to give you a picture of what the future holds. So my question would be to our audience, since we're talking about CRT, there's bugs coming around me because I'm outside. Right now we know there's 22 or 23 states now that have either have legislation in place on board and or have banned CRT. And, between that and between the volatility of our country, you'll wonder whether secession is next, because it's pretty bad.
Yes, and I have a very happy chirping bird in the background. So I had to mute myself a little bit.
That's okay.
Like, woo, shutty. Anyways, I just want to say shout out to our viewer, Sandy, who's going to be our guest next Wednesday for Wealth Wellness Wednesday, and my amazing friend. And also just a shout out to Sharon at Hello Gorgeous, who made me gorgeous the other day. Thank you.
I know, and I felt bad. I was going to say that to you. Well, I personally said it to you, but I was going to shout it out the day that Dr. Paul was on. And, it didn't fit into the
right
points, but your hair does look fabulous, looks gorgeous.
Thank you. And just a shout out also to my husband. 10 years ago today is when we met at Ludal's in North Haven.
Wow.
So
I have not been able to even pay attention to any calendar events except for the ones that I'm desperately working on. So, I almost feel like the last week it's just been a whirlwind of just, research, talking to news outlets and getting the word out there. And so, when today is a day to, rest the mind and do some fun things. And thankfully, the distraction, because, when you hear the word distraction, you think of, it's not healthy. Our podcast was a very healthy distraction for me personally this week, because it, even though I was sharing what, the process of what was going on, it's good to kind of get it off your chest, and it's a release to also impact other people, to inform them, to let them know that of what is going on, because if it's happening in this little community, it's going to happen. Well, it is happening everywhere. And it's a matter of how you have that drive and organization to fight the system. I think back to the 60s when, in Hartford, Power to the People, the Black Panther movement. I mean, there was a lot of outrage over segregation. There were, the busing, schools being bused. And you often wonder when you have a movement that's big, opposing and or for, the drive and passion that goes into it. And it is draining. So sometimes a distraction can be a healthy, good distraction to either let go, to unwind, to talk it out. Maybe I got to have a different approach. And that is the great thing that I love about our podcast that we share with our viewers, is each day is a stepping stone to get to today. And, there's a common, you celebrate, you pat yourself on the back, you say, do good job, whatever your drive, your spark, your checked off on your list. And even if they were very small milestones, and I was actually sharing that with the parent group that has been organized in the spirit of, saving their schools for their children. And the milestones were small, but yet I was, everyone said, oh, to get on an agenda. It took us all week long to push the envelope to get us actually on an agenda, because typically speaking, the way and they have to follow under state laws how they run their meetings, but they always have a section, an open section or a citizens forum. And for people to present arguments, concerns, questions in dialogue or whatnot, you're only allowed 2 or 3 minutes. So you've got to really, and you can't, we pushed the envelope on Monday because that meeting was specifically for the parents to speak. Although, in my opinion, the administration and the school committee, as well as their consultant they hired, that nobody wanted to hear, took up too much time away from the parents to talk. But at least we were offered the table a little bit more. This past Wednesday was their regular school meeting, so you're only allowed 2 or 3 minutes. But the good thing of working together for the little stepping stones is now we're on the agenda for August 25th. So that's a huge win, as well as, them recognizing that they have to do better in listening to people. You can't say, because part of the problem with that type of a meeting, you only have a couple minutes. They can have dialogue with you. 99% of the time they won't. So in other words, if you were to ask a question, they don't have to answer it. So then you're like, okay, well, when do you answer it? When do you address it? And that was falling through the cracks. So people obviously are still emailing them, which rightfully so. The public has a right to, have their voices heard. So it was a milestone, but it's out in the public now. It's a lot of news sources are carrying this little town, these 2 towns, because it's a district, 2 towns. It's a regional district that are getting the word out, because this can happen everywhere, anywhere. And the parents are really doing an amazing job in helping each other to really educate. And it was team effort. So, when you talk about your health and wellness, to have a team help you with, mind, research, how to live a better, healthy life. These are all stepping stones that are going to get you to the end goal. And then when you get to the end goal, guess what? You go out for another one.
That's right. And it's keeping those routines that as much as possible that will help with those creative and disciplined routines to keep the distraction, to do the things that you love to do, whether it's doing a podcast. Maybe if you wanted to start a podcast and share your point of view, maybe you want to write a book, whatever it is, go for it. Let that distraction lead you to your goals, which is going to help those and others around you.
Absolutely. I like that, Jan. And it is so true, because who would, we often talk about that as well, is you don't want to let your vision, your passion, your goals, your, checkbox, your bucket list to go with you in the graveyard. And, I guess it was a while back, one of our listeners that said, ooh, that almost sounds morbid. You know, we're all born to die. That's the reality of life. And you want to leave your imprint. You want to leave your legacy. You want to have your legacy live on in others. And the way that happens is by making a difference, making sure that your vision, your passion is impacting someone else in a positive way. I love making sure, and it's very intentional, to make sure that when you leave a conversation, you leave an event, a group, or whatever, that you hope that you leave it better than it started. That maybe you met someone, you touched someone, you through kindness, words, listening to them, embracing them, and imprinting them in such a way, because there's so many people that I've come across, even this week, that, as soon as I hear their name, I just automatically smile, because I saw their drive, I saw their passion, I heard, the concerns from parents that I've been, blessed to listen to, and many that I did not know in this community now I do know. So the importance of having that dialogue and hopefully impacting others. They impacted me as well as I impact them, I hope. So it's such a good, humanity is such a good thing. I think we underestimate how good humanity can be. Yeah, we're not perfect. We're perfectly flawed. We're supposed to be. That's just the way we are. But the point is that we don't give up on trying to do better, that we don't give up, on saying someone else is going to do the work. The injustices, somebody else will deal with it. You got to get involved.
Be the change maker.
Exactly.
On that note, we're going to wrap it up for you today. And remember that those distractions make it a productive one. Maybe you've got a certain goal out there, so be goal oriented, keep that growth mindset going. It's a Fantabulous Friday. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carol, so aka Naughty Boss. Gonna get some pickleball on today. We're gonna get some golf strokes in today. We've got everything is about physical activity today. It is a beautiful day. Go out there, get a walk in, get some movement in, get a workout in, get some swimming in, get some jogging in, power walk, whatever it may be, but just get movement in. That is going to carry you over into the weekend, into a healthy mindset, but also feeling fit and good. You know what, even if that walk is 10 minutes, just do something, get yourself off the couch, enjoy this beautiful summer weather, because God knows it's not going to last long. But anyways, you have a great day, and we will see you on Monday for Monday Mindset. You guys have a great day, great weekend, impact other people.
Bye, everyone.